Ayan, hello, hello. Hello everyone. Naririnig niyo po ba ako? Can you type in sa comment section if you can hear me clearly? Hello, walang audio. Okay, walang audio. Sandali Hala, bakit kaya walang audio? Meron na? Ayan. Hello, Alexandria. Hi, Inday. Hi, Farida. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Luz. Hi, Marichelle. Hi, Maria. Ayan, clear na ba ako? Can you type in yes, please? Kasi wala daw audio kanina. Ayan, okay na. Okay, thank you so much. Ayan, thank you so much, Mommy, for joining us again in another episode of our expert corner. So last week po, we talked about yung social media management, and ngayon naman na week, di ba? Grabe, jam-pack, no? So we started last Tuesday with Mommy MK, Mommy Milna naman nung Wednesday, and now with Mommy Christi. So this is a very productive week, ano po. And like what I said, this is another episode of Expert Corner where we invite freelancer moms, talk about their expertise, freelancing, motherhood, and anything in between. Okay, so we also noticed na madaming mga newbie moms are interested on social media management, and that is the reason na malaki kasi masyado yung discussion ni Mami Jai last week on social media, so we tried na himayin yon. And that's why we invited another successful freelancer mom talked about Facebook marketing naman. Okay, so if you are ready, can you type in ready sa comment section? Because I am also ready to learn from our expert this afternoon. If you guys are ready, we are also ready. So ayan, let's introduce our expert mom. She is a social media coach and consultant to small businesses and freelancers alike. She worked with numerous international agencies and companies improve their social media presence through effective and strategic content creation and management. She's been featured as a coach in FH Moms, We Do the Talk, and featured in Freelancer Tribe movement, and has been invited to several programs to help spread awareness about social media management as a career for people who wants to leave their 9 to 5 job. She currently lives in the Philippines with her family, and it's her mission to empower the Filipino worker online to be world-class social media managers. Currently, she's working as an operations manager and handles operations, training, and digital marketing for them. Ladies and gentlemen, mommies, please help me welcome Mommy Christi Almero. Hello, Mommy Christi.
Wow, thank you.
Ayan.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for that really nice introduction.
Mommy, kamusta? Kamustahan muna tayo sandali.
Narinig ba tayo?
Kamusta ka, ma'am? Oo nga, nag-worry din ako kung naririnig nila tayo. But I think they are ready. Sabi naman nila ready na. Ayan. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay.
So, yes, Mommy, kamusta ka po?
Okay, so naririnig na nanonood yung ate ko. Ayun, so okay naman. So, well, first and foremost, no, I just want to say hi to everyone. So I see a lot of familiar faces in the audience, and I'm really happy na nandito ako. I'm really honored actually to be invited by Mommy May to impart yung mga alam ko tungkol sa Facebook marketing, etc. So I'm really happy to be here.
Sundutan ko lang yung konti, Ma'am no? Actually, yun kasi ang na-notice namin when we did parang survey sa mga newbie moms, and most of them, they wanted to know more about social media marketing. So, ayun, I think they're also excited to learn from you, especially on Facebook marketing, which is the most common used na platform. So, if you guys are ready and we are ready, I want to turn you over to Mommy Christi.
Hi, guys. Already na ba kayo? So, right now, actually, just to set expectations, no? When I'm teaching, I usually don't like using slides. Mas maganda kasi kapag may walkthrough para yung mga makikinig, mas matututunan nila kung ano yung pinapakita, ano yung guide or whatever, para at least hindi tayo nagtatanong during the lessons na ano ba yung pinagsasabi ni Mommy Christi, etc. Okay? So just let me know if you can hear me all right. So I want to know if the audio is working well para at least tuloy-tuloy tayo. We won't be wasting anybody's time, and of course, maximum yung lesson na matututunan natin. Okay, so just let me know if you guys can hear me. So let me know in the comment section. Kikita ko naman yung comments nyo. So, pag okay yung yung voice natin, okay yung audio and so on, then we're going to start. Diba? Okay ba? Narinig ba ako? Or medyo may delay lang sa stream yan? Okay. Yes, okay. Awesome. All right, thank you, Amaya. Amia pala. Okay, Luz and Rina. So, hi and good afternoon again to everyone. So, like Mommy May said or mentioned earlier, we're going to use a part of this afternoon to learn a little bit about social media marketing, in particular, Facebook marketing. Okay? So, a lot of you, especially dito sa Pilipinas, napaka-popular ng Facebook, right? It's been something na ginagamit ng karamihan sa atin, businesses, personal, and other brands na para i-endorse, i-promote, at ipakilala ang kanilang mga produkto, mga services. And I think as freelancers, this is something that I also learned na kapag ginamit mo ang social media for your own benefit, as for example, as a freelancer, as well as a brand, for example, or a service-based business, product-based business, there's power behind it. Okay, one of the things that the social media or particularly Facebook provides us as modern day business people is that it provides us an avenue to grow our audience, which I will discuss in detail. So gusto ko lang munang ang ano dito, nasi-share ba yung screen? Okay, so kasi maganda pag ma-share natin yung screen natin. Okay, so guys, pa-provide ko kayo ng walkthrough on how you can actually create a following in your Facebook page. Okay? So meron tayong two parts basically. We are going to utilize our Facebook personal profile and also utilizing our Facebook page in order to gain or to attract potential clients and potential customers. Okay? So, share ko muna yung screen ko. Teka, punta ako sa Facebook. Right. Okay, just give me one moment. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Yan, ako nakikita ko na yung screen ko. Kayo nakikita nyo ba yung screen ko? Okay. Kita. Okay, so let's see here. All right. Just let me know if you can see my screen. Kasi hindi ko sure kung nakikita nyo. Kita ba? Kita yung screen? Wala. Oops. Sorry. Wait lang, I'll reshare. Magre-reshare ulit ako. Application window. Okay. All right. Okay. Yan. Okay. So, kita ba yung screen? Ayun, okay na? Okay. Pag igaganito ko, kita pa din. Wala naman. Oh. Bad. Ayan, kita na. Okay. Yan, sa wakas. Alright. So anyway, as you can see, I am looking into Facebook right now. This is our news feed, which of course, lahat-lahat ng post, content, or basta pag sinabi natin content, these are posts, okay? So it doesn't matter if it is a video, if it is a photo, if it is an image, if it's a GIF, a meme, or a status, or a blog, or an article. All of those are content. So sa Tagalog, laman. Laman ng something. Okay, so content. Right. So when it comes to Facebook marketing, there are two things that we need to understand first and foremost. Okay. So what are those and why do we need to understand them basically? So yung una is our Facebook profile. Okay. So which is this? This Facebook profile is what people mostly see, right? This is our personal account. Dito yung nag-sign up tayo. These are the things that we feel with personal stuff, basically. Pwede mo rin siyang gamitin for business, but what is mostly recommended is actually the creation of a page. Or in our on our account, dito mo siya sa plus sign, and then you can see here page. Okay, so a page can be two things, right? So when you create a page, you have an option to choose whether this page is going to be your personal or your business. Okay, personal, pag sinabi kong personal nga pala, is professional, all right? So when you choose a professional page, these are pages such as public figure page, personal blog, mga ganon. Makukuha mo yan or mafi-filter mo yan dito sa category. Categorizing your page correctly is highly important for its optimization. Bakit sinasabi na highly important siya? Well, first things first, if hindi mo na-categorize na mabuti yung page mo, mahirap ka din makita sa mga related searches. What's worse is if pag hindi ka naglagay ng description. However, because of the new setup of Facebook, yung tatlo na yon dapat na fill out mo siya. Okay? So for example, this is a professional page. Then you can just type your name. And my suggestion is if you are creating a professional page, dapat pangalan mo yung ginagamit mo. Okay? If it is a business, then it's your business name. Okay? Either way, both of them are called Facebook page. Right? So punta tayo sa isang yarina na Facebook page. And I just want to highlight itong sa page ko because I have already created a professional page. Okay? So this professional page is basically where I introduce myself as well as the things that I do. Okay? But may limitation ang professional page. Hindi natin siya mostly ginagamit for conversion. Okay? Why is that? Best practice kasi sa ating Facebook professional page is that we use this for people to get to know us so that we can build trust. Okay? Alright, I'll take your questions later nga pala. Okay, so we can build trust through our Facebook business professional page. Right? Your name is there, your face is there, your handle should also the same almost as your name. If your name is already taken, parang sa akin nilagyan ko lang siya ng kadugtong na .com. If, for example, Christy Almera is already taken, then that's what I did. Okay? I chose the category as public figure because this is more like letting people or my target market to get to know me as an individual. And if I scroll down through the page, ang mapapansin nyo dito would be, I'm not selling anything, but I'm mostly sharing what I know. Okay? So I have interviews with Julian Canita. Last time was with Coach Joel. And then I post quotes, I post my opinions, thoughts, ganon. Or I share my learnings, the skills that I have, etc. Okay? So that is the best practice when you are actually using a professional page. Now, each and every Facebook page is actually encouraged to put up or to utilize the features that are available on Facebook, such as yung mga creator studio natin, resources and tools, business app or whatsoever, if you have any, publishing tools, insights, and so on. Okay? However, since this is a professional page, it's mostly about myself and the things that I do or the things that I know, hindi ko na gagamitin yung ibang tools such as selling my product. I can add a appointment booking. That's perfectly fine. But as of the moment, kasi I'm not taking any appointments or bookings, so hindi ko na siya inad. Or I can also showcase my menu. The best things to utilize these features are actually on a business page. Okay, a business page is where you have your own logo. All right, it has your logo. It doesn't necessarily show your face. So most of the time, if this is used as a business, ang itsura niya ay ganito. Wait lang ah. Doon na lang sa akin. Alright. Okay. So, ito yung business ko. I just set it up because basically most of the clients that we have naman kasi are referrals and inbound. So, ngayon ka lang ginawa tong upgrowth branding. Okay. So, if you notice, meron dito mga services offered and this is the logo. So, this is a business page. Unlike the professional page where you can see my face, yun yung pagkakaiba nila basically. We separate them for the purpose of best practices because we want to make sure that people starts building trust in us as a first or initially kasi saan ba natin nabibuild yung trust, di ba? Because of the relationships that we have online. Right? Before people will trust us to buy our stuff. For example, our service, our products, etc. Okay? So, yun yung pagkakaiba ng business page and ng professional page. Now, saan ba applicable mostly ang mga professional pages? Okay. So, professional pages, such as the one that I have created, as I've mentioned earlier, one of the things that you need to create a professional profile or a professional Facebook page is because if you want to be considered as an industry expert or if you want to be to gain leverage on your personal branding. Okay? So why would I choose to gain leverage on my personal branding? Kasi na-realize ko that people buy from people. Okay, you don't necessarily just sell stuff. And kaya tayo may funnel na sinasabi. Okay? Meron tayong sinusunod na awareness, consideration, conversion. Without those, hindi tayo nakaka-build ng sustainable business. And that's one of the reasons kung bakit kailangan pakilala ka muna, tell people what you know, who you serve, mga ganon, before you delve into selling. Okay? And what about the other businesses na talagang selling na talaga yung business nila? That's also a good question. Okay? Well, you can still work on your professional branding kasi it makes your business sustainable and mas mataas yung retention mo in the long run kapag you work on your personal branding. And at the same time, people get to know who's behind the brand. Okay? Kasi ngayon, 'di ba, there's so much noise na sa social media. Left and right, nagtatayo ng business. Iba-iba yon. So, Left and right, kalaban mo bilang business owner or bilang entrepreneur. But the only thing na hindi mo makakalaban is yung sa sarili mo, right? And that's the reason why it's really important for you to build your personal branding. It works well on Facebook kasi personal brands are getting favored. Okay, what do I mean by that? Lahat ng nakakakita ng content natin are mostly the people related or near us. Okay? So, si Facebook, binibigyan niya tayo ng certain number of audience or people who will see our content. But kinakategorize niya yon. So, people who engage in our content, meaning to say, people who reacted to our content, people who created a comment or left a comment, people who shared that content, or kaya nag-save. Okay, so yun yung mga engagement na sinasabi natin sa Facebook. And of course, yung mga mas malaking impact na type of engagement are people who send us messages, right? So if these are the behavior na nakikita ni Facebook sa ating page or kaya sa ating personal account, then the people who does this on our content or posts, nabibigyan sila ng priority to see our content. Okay? So the next time that you, for example, go to your news feed, ang mapapansin mo dyan would be content that, number one, kaka-friend mo pa lang kasi tinatry pa ni Facebook kung talagang yun ba yung gusto mo. Second is content that you have already engaged with in the past or recently. And related people as well as pages that you might like. Siguro related na sa dami ng friends, related sa interest, sa mga na-like nyo na pages, etc. Okay? So, the prioritization na nakikita nyo dito sa newsfeed are posts that you are mostly engaging with. Okay? It doesn't mean na regular yung pag-engage nyo sa post na yon or sa content ng tao na yon or sa content ng page na yon. Rather, it's based on history and behavior. Okay? So, for example, lagi akong nagko-comment sa, let's say, sa post ni Miss Lydia Binel. So, for example lang then, sa susunod, makikita ko na naman yung mga posts niya. Alright? The engagement basically would just be about reactions, comments, share, and yung save. Okay? Save button natin. Okay? So, if you want to, for example, see a particular content on your newsfeed every single time that you log into Facebook, then you actually will have to continue engaging to a particular or with a particular person or a particular page. And then based on those behaviors, dyan napapasok yung mga makikita mo na mga ads. Okay? So because of those behavior. So parang katulad sa kanya, and then tingnan natin yung isa pa. Kaya dito, etc. Okay? So, yung mga nakikita mo sa newsfeed, those are all results of your social media behavior. What does it mean kapag yun yung result ng nasa newsfeed mo? Okay? Ang implication nito sa atin bilang business owners is that we need to be engaging with people or more people who are considered as potential clients or kaya merong similar interest. Okay? So that's also one of the reason why as a social media manager, hindi ako fan ng follow for a follow or like for a like. Okay? Kasi mas okay na sa akin na konti lang yung followers ko basta they are the right audience. Okay? Ayoko ng libo-libo o kaya hanggang million pa na followers tapos hindi naman sila yung audience mo, you're just after the number. Okay? Kasi kapag ganun, sayang naman yung effort mo sa social media. right? Then this is also applicable kapag ang ginagawa naman natin is bumibili tayo ng followers and likes. Okay? So, tandaan natin, there are actually parameters on how Facebook develops the data or affects the algorithm that works doon sa ating mga social media pages and accounts. Okay? Siyempre, priority yung mga malapit sa atin, which means to say, kamag-anak, friends, at saka yung mga second degree or third degree na. Okay? Hindi kasin sa, ibig ko sabihin yung network. So, yun yung prioritization ni Facebook. It's always about local. So, if there are things or if there are people who follows us locally, sila yung most of the time nakakakita ng ating content. Especially if they are highly engaging or highly engaged sa content natin. Okay? Now, those simple principles actually will help you when it comes to Facebook marketing because this gives you an idea kung sino-sino ba yung dapat nagla-like and nagfo-follow ng iyong content online. Okay? So, it's not necessarily just about sharing. So, i-share mo kahit kanino, ipapalike mo kahit kanino. That strategy doesn't work. Okay? Sa mga ganong strategy, mababa yung conversion nun most of the time. And mas mataas yung effort mo kesa doon sa result na nakukuha mo. Right? Because yung nag-evaluate ng behavior natin within Facebook, which is basically an AI or an artificial intelligence, hindi naman siya katulad ng tao na mag-isip na sasabihin natin na baka pinalike lang ngayon ni ganito ganyan yung ito kasi maybe gusto lang niya ng followers. No, whatever behavior we have online and on social media, binibigyan yon ng halaga ni Facebook as a data. Okay? And given that as a fact, if you are doing business online, this means to say that you need to evaluate who your target market is. Okay? So, ano ka ba bilang business owner and ano ba yung tina-target mo or sino ba yung tina-target mo ng mga tao? Okay? So, for example, let's take my page. My niche is basically, when it comes to skills, it's video editing, graphics, and Facebook ads. Okay, of course, there's still social media management as well as marketing, which come mostly about content creation, mga ganon. Kasama pa rin naman yon. So, what I would, ang aking niche nga, ay ang aking target market would be doctors. Okay? So, kung ang target market ko ay doctors, di ba, doctors in general, madami pa din yon. Correct? So, may doktor para sa ulo, may doktor para sa puso, may doktor para sa iba-ibang parte ng katawan, may general doctor. Meron ding ibang mga doctors na pambata, pangmatanda, pangbuntis, etc. So, given that there is, although it is already identified, nandun ka pa din sa broader aspect of that particular industry or vertical. So, what you do is you can actually narrow that down para mas malaman mo kung sino yung ita-target mo. Okay? And when I say targeting on social media, medyo mahaba-habang process at saka research and behavior ang i-observe mo. Okay? So, hindi ito basta-basta tipong, gusto ko ng mga doktor, so lahat na ng groups for doctors sasalihan mo. Or kaya, kahit na sino na basta may nakalagay na doctor sa pangalan nila. Okay? Or kaya yung nag-aaral mong kaibigan na doktor, right? There are certain categories that you need to identify in order for you to effectively choose your target market or identify them in social media. One is I've already mentioned kapag kunyari meron kang, let's say, meron kang naisip na target market mo, is you narrow down that broad vertical into very specific type of jobs. Okay lang if hindi. That's perfectly up to you anyway. anyway. But for me personally, it really helps kasi mas madali silang hanapin. Okay, so let's say for example, I wanted to work with dentists. Doctor din naman yun, diba? As well as chiropractors. Doctor din yun. So, given that I want to work with them, one of the things as a tactic that I would use would be to search for them first and foremost on Facebook. Kasi nga, dito tayo sa Facebook marketing. So, dahil ina-identify ko sila as chiropractors, then I would just type chiropractors or chiropractor. Okay? And the search results on Facebook will actually allow you to filter through different things, such as whether all of the chiropractor na natag for using that particular keyword, or kaya meron bang chiropractor sa post, or baka naman chiropractor as people, which is what I'm going to do. People, pages, and groups. Yun yung hahanapin ko. People, pages, and groups. Okay, so I can start with people. And then makikita mo na marami palang tao or marami palang chiropractor na may Facebook page or kaya may Facebook profile sa Facebook. Right? So if you scroll through here, makikita mo sila. Alright? But I don't add them immediately. Okay? So anong gagawin ko pala kung hindi ko siya i-add? First is I will go to their own account. So for example, si Dr. Reed Howie. And then, I will go to their business page. Howie Chiropractic Spinal Adjustment. Okay? So ito yung kanyang business page. This is the one that I'm going to follow. I will like this or kaya ipa-follow ko. Natin. Ayan, meron naman na siya. Okay? So ilalike ko yung page niya. And then, for 7 to 10 days, mag-i-engage lang ako sa content ni Dr. Howie. Okay? Hindi ko naman ililigaw yung page ni Dr. Howie bilang freelancer eh. Kasi basically, siya pa rin yung target market ko. Okay? So, pwede kong i-like yan. Like. O kaya, if there are some relevant content, such as, for example, this, below is why we do what we do at Howie Chiropractic. Give us a call and see what good news, blah, blah, blah. Tapos you can just read through this kung ano yan. If there's no good nerve supply, if a single part of his body is deprived of proper neurological function, there is no way on God's earth that that body will ever function properly again. Okay, so do I agree with that statement or not? Then I would just leave a very insightful comment on that particular content. Okay. So I can say something like, I agree 100% with this statement as someone. So I will just relate it to my situation. Pause, lagyan lang natin. Okay. All right. Wrong spelling daw. Ayan. Cited naman. Teka. Cited. Ayan. Okay. So you can provide an insightful comment. So hindi lang basta-basta kasi most people, dahil nga tinatamad tayo sa pag-engage, we think that if we post something relevant on our content or on our pages, eh maa-attract na kaagad yung mga tao. Okay, so yun yung mentality natin. That's not how it is. You have to give first in order to receive. So in order for you to get the kind of engagement that you ideally would want to have on your page, you have to give it first. Okay? So lagyan mo ng mga insightful comments yung mga fina-follow mo. Right? Especially if ang target market mo ay mga influencers, mga figureheads, or somebody who has that kind of status na yung followers nila is pwede mo ding maging audience, pwede mo ding makik-client. Okay? So I do this on a regular basis. I don't just do it on Facebook. I do it on LinkedIn as well as on Instagram. Sa Instagram, mabilis. Kasi there is a law of reciprocity doon sa Instagram. For Facebook, minsan hindi napapansin. But pag meron kang, you just have to be consistent about it, kumbaga. Okay? So, hindi lang tayo nag-a-ask ng engagement, we actually give it away para naman yung mga tao na gusto nating i-attract, they become curious of who we are. Parang, sino ba tong lagi nag-e-engage sa content ko? Matignan ko nga yung kanyang profile. So, if for example, he becomes curious about who I am because I am providing insightful comments on his page, then the most likely reaction of the particular potential client is that they will go to my page or to my account. And then they will see that I am a digital marketing specialist. They will also see my headline as on a mission to help doctors get more patients through organic marketing and paid advertising. Okay, if there is a need, most likely, and this is based on experience, they add me usually as a friend or kaya tinatanong nila what services ang ino-offer ko. Okay, and that's how you get your inbound marketing or improve your inbound marketing. Improve the way you engage to people. It will help you a lot kapag nag-a-attract kayo ng client. Okay, so it's not just basically something na pupunta tayo, mag-create, gagawa tayo ng page, gagawa tayo ng lahat ng value post doon na lahat ng value post sa buong mundo. No matter how valuable your content, kung walang nag-e-engage, dahil sa algorithm ng Facebook, hindi rin niya yun ipapakita sa ibang tao. Okay? So, give first before you receive. Give engagement freely. That's why I highly encourage freelancers na kung gusto mo talagang i-grow yung content mo, help others grow muna by engaging with their content. Okay? It works like magic kapag nag-i-Instagram marketing ka. Punta ka lang sa page ng isang, kunyari, idol mo. Tapos, wag lang yung mga million-million ng followers ha. Use this strategically. Do the engagement heavily sa mga micro-influencers. People who have a following of 1,000 to 10,000. Okay, kasi kapag it's beyond that na, mga malapit na siya sa 100K followers, hindi na nag-e-engage yan masyado sa mga followers nila. Okay? And I'm just speaking based on my experience. So anyway, that's just one strategy on how I can look for clients. Teka, tingnan muna natin yung sinabi ni Mami May. Okay. Link lang pala yan. Okay, sorry naman. Alright, so let's go back. Another way on how I create or how I attract my audience or my potential client is I go to the groups that they are part of. Okay, so common na ito, but hindi ako nagpro-promote sa groups. I don't do that kasi most of the time, nagagalit ang mga admin if you do that, no? So, syempre, to keep my place sa group, hindi ako magpro-promote sa group. So, I will just join. Most of the time, ang gino-join ko is public groups kasi wala nang filter questions. Right? So, like for example, this chiropractors. Is this a public? It's a private group. Okay, pero naka-join ako dyan. Saan pa ba? Kanyari ito, Extraordinary Women Chiropractors. So, if it's a private group, and then we check if they have questions. So, for example, please provide your practice website and or student ID. Syempre, kapag ganito, hindi na ako magpo-push through kasi wala naman akong practice. Ibig sabihin, they really are just looking for people who are really chiropractors. So, aalis ako dyan. Okay? Then, I look for another group that doesn't necessarily look for ano yun, license, mga ganon. So, for example, ito, chiropractic, worldwide, pero konti, di ba? Ito, pregnancy chiropractic, for example. Let's try. Join. Okay, so siya rin naglahahanap because this is also a tambayan ng mga talagang chiropractor. So, bawal dyan ang mga katulad natin. Hindi naman tayo chiropractor. Okay, let's check the others. So, this is just the humdrum of searching for your target market. Humdrum, ibig sabihin mga boring na tasks. Okay. Ito, chiropractic marketing. Right? Tingnan natin. Okay. And of course, the best practice is for you to join as your profile and not as your page. Okay? You can join as your page. Bahala ka naman dyan eh. Yun nga lang kasi, pag nag-join ka page, tapos ang nakalagay logo, most likely makikick out ka sa group. Okay, so sabi niya, these are people who work directly with chiropractors. You must tell us who you are and provide proof that you are. Okay, you will be declined. Okay, so not one. So you just have to be honest. Okay. Sabi nga, if you're a marketer and you may make application by writing. Okay, so pag mga ganito, pwede ka mag-write daw or request sa kanila. And then you can just write your answers here. Very good reason to be allowed in. Let's just say, for example, I already filled that out. But you just have to follow the filter questions in order for you to be really let inside a group. So, for example, yung isang sinalihan ko, which also has the same exact filter questions, no? Ito, chiropractors. I joined this kasi nga mataas yung numbers nila. And look, nandito yung dati kong client. Right? So, ito, a lot of people here are actually promoting. So, that is what I need. No, yung nagpro-promote if I want to promote my service. However, the best at saka the most quality groups are the ones na wala masyadong promotion. Kasi it means to say that there are real interactions within the group. Okay? So, yun yung kagandahan ng pag-join ng group. So, dalawa na yung naano natin, di ba? One is for us to look for our target market based on their position, such their work position, mga ganyan. Kunyari, kung ang target market mo, mga CEO, founders, or what, then you have to use that keyword as well. Okay. The next is, of course, pages. But sa mga pages kasi, most of the time, if I look for people who are chiropractors, I do the same exact thing as what I have showed you earlier, which is looking for people, going to their account, and then searching if by any chance they might be or they might have a business page. So ito si Dr. Barbara Eaton, she was also a client before. Yan. So, meron siya dito. Alam mo siya. Ayan. So, ang page niya is actually a public figure profile. So, ilalike ko lang to. Then, it's just gonna go through the whole thing. Okay? So, when it comes to working on your business as a freelancer, especially if you are not utilizing job boards like Upwork, onlinejobs.ph, etc., make sure that every single day meron kang oras to do this. Engage, connect, and continue to engage basically. Okay? If you have to share their content on your post or on your page, you need to do so para nakikita nila kung sino yung mga tao nag-share ng kanilang content and it actually captures their attention. Okay? It works really well, pero tsatsagaan mo talaga. Kasi pag hindi mo siya tsatsagaan, dun mo na makikita na walang result yung ginagawa mo. Because not everybody or not all of your target market will check you out. Okay? So as much as possible, you add more to your list. Meaning to say, you add more people na target market mo. So let's say for example, ang pinili ko doctors. 'Di ba ang daming doktor, 'di ba? Pati nga yung mga doktor na hindi naman talaga doktor. Tulad ng mga sa philosophy, sa sa politics, mga ganon. Di ba may mga doctorate, ganyan-ganyan. So, masyadong madami. Para sa akin ha, masyadong madami to at napaka-broad. That's why I don't use the keyword doctor. I would rather use a specific keyword such as chiropractor or dentist or kunyari, physical therapist, mga ganon. Okay? So, huwag kang gamit ng super broad na keywords. Now, in order for you to check out keywords of that you're going to use, for example, katulad nga nung sa akin, ang ano ko is doctor, then you can use, for example, what are the different types of doctors? Okay, doctors called or name. Ayan. So, meron dito. Okay? So, utilize Google as much as you can. Kasi, hindi man siya tatawagin na World Wide Web for nothing. So, pwede mo dito and then if you can look for ito, allergists, anesthesiologists, cardiologists, colon and rectal surgeons, and so on and so forth. So, make sure that you use the right keywords to search for your target market. Okay? So, yun yung mga ginagawa ko to search. And then, I also engage. Para sa akin, medyo gasgas na yung question sa social media na, what is your biggest struggle in business? Mga ganun. Medyo gasgas na sa akin yun. So, what I do usually is, instead of asking, naghahanap ako ng mga posts na nagto-talk about struggles. Okay, so one way I do that is, pupunta ako dun sa group na sinasalihan ko. For example, ito sa coaches, consultants, etc. From time to time, parang katulad to, what is the top priority that you're working on this week in your business? So, syempre, it doesn't necessarily ask for struggles or challenges in the business. However, if you go through some of the answers of people, makikita mo na some of them are actually planning for their own business. So, it doesn't just give you their name, but it tells you based on their comments na ay may business pala tong tao na to. Or kaya, siguro mataas na yung business niya, hindi pa lang siya startup, mga ganun-ganun. Okay, so go through them with patience and commitment and consistency kasi mahahanap niyo yung mga clients niyo sa ganun. Okay? So, ito. I would love your suggestion on a legit business consultant courses, blah, blah, blah. So, siya naman naghahanap siya ng course. So, how do you use that? You also go through the comments and then makikita mo yung iba may mga nire-refer sila. Then, dun sa mga nire-refer niya, o kaya or nire-refer nila yung sarili nila, nagpre-presenta sila, parang katulad nito, Amanda Wright, there is a certified credential. I work in consulting for 15 years. So, for example, if your target market are consultants and coaches, then you can check out Amanda Wright and then see if she is a coach or if she has any type of established business na pwede mo siyang ma-reach out to. Okay? So, tingnan natin. Wala siyang nilalagay sa kanyang intro. Then, if pag ganito, tapos I suspect na meron siyang business, what I do is I just get their name, and then I type it on Google, search with keywords, consultant, or consultant lang. Okay, so siya kaya yan, si Amanda Wright. Naman, tingnan natin yung ibang pictures niya. Yun, ito pala yung picture niya. Na close, at least close. Yan, that's what she looks like. So, she's probably this person. Ito. Okay. Kamukha niya, di ba? Right? Yeah, mukhang siya yan. So, I also check if, for example, this is her sa LinkedIn. On the right. Okay. So, it says here that she's a business coach. And her target market are women who wants to launch their consulting business. Which makes sense kasi tinignan natin dun sa pagkasagot niya na nung isang question dun sa group na she's been doing consulting for 15 years. Right? Ito. Right? So usually in groups as well as in forums, discussions, it's actually a gold mine of clients, okay, potential clients. So hindi lang tayo basta-basta mag-a-ask ng question, mag-recreate ng value post, tapos wala tayong gagawin. The real work happens with the engagement process that we do, as well as searching for the people who might have said something in groups, shared something in groups, etc. And then i-stalk mo siya. Hindi mo siya pwedeng, hindi naman siya nag-engage sa post ko so wag na lang. Diba? Hindi pwedeng ganun. So, if I found her on LinkedIn, doon ako makikiconnect sa kanya. Right? I don't usually personalize any type of messages kasi sometimes medyo off-putting yon sa mga ibang tao. So, I would just connect with them. Teka, sumakit yung puwet ko. I just connect with them, and then that's where pag naki-add sila sa akin or kaya in-add nila ako sa network nila, saka ko sila ibabother ng aking mga messages. But I don't pitch. Okay? Kasi kahit ako ayoko rin nang nagpi-pitch. Yung kaka-friend mo pa lang, in-invite ka na kaagad sa Facebook page or kaya kaka-accept mo pa lang as a friend, sesendan ka na ng message tapos ino-offeran ka ng kung ano-anong product, services, etc. So ano kasi yun? No yun sa marketing. Make them warm first by engaging in their content so that you are on top of mind. So ay lagi itong nagla-like ng post ko, nagko-comment, etc. Okay, so that's how you do your marketing the right way. Okay? So actually, I wanted to share more, kaya lang hanggang 4 p.m. lang ba tayo? Teka, tingnan natin si Mommy. Tama na tayo dun sa natin pagpasensyahan nyo na ako. Hindi ako naka-double screen. Okay, double monitor pala, sorry. Alright. Okay, so let's make use of this time para mag-answer tayo ng questions. Punta tayo sa ating answer tayo ng questions. Okay. Ayun, 'di ba? Engage, connect, continue to engage, blah blah blah. So, hindi lang basta-basta hindi lang basta-basta post ka ng post. Okay? Kahit na super ganda ng post mo, super valuable, pag di ka naman nakikita, hindi ka rin bibigyan ni Facebook ng audience. Alright? So, Trixie has a question. She said, saan na yun? Nag-move sorry ha. Ayun, sabi niya, pag beginner ba, dapat mamili na agad ng niche? No. Kahit na hindi ka beginner, you don't necessarily have to. The importance of a niche is you know where to find people kasi. But if you don't have a niche, tapos general ka, I think the best thing that you need to do is to just pick a skill. Mag-pick ka na lang ng skill mo. Kunyari, saan ka magaling? And then generalize the market that you are targeting, such as, for example, product-based, ito yung mga e-commerce o mga nagtitinda. Service-based, ito yung mga freelance, katulad natin, freelancers, consultants, attorney, doktor, mga ganon. Okay? So I hope I answered your question. Alright, so, ano pa ba? Any other questions, guys? Wala na?
Hello, Mommy. Tanungin natin sila, Mommy, if they want to know more. I think if you still have time, pwede pa naman tayo. We
Oo
can
nga.
still go on. Guys, do you still want to,
Guys,
can
ask kayo ng questions kasi para hindi kayo nalilito sa... Actually, alam mo yung sinabi ko, it doesn't necessarily just apply to Facebook. It applies to all type of social media platforms. Pero pinaka-common kasi natin na ginagamit is Facebook. So it's really important that we know how to utilize our marketing strategy by reaching out. We don't reach out offering our pitch or our services outright. We do it the right way by turning the cold to warm. Okay? So ang ibig sabihin nun is, yung gaya ng pinakita ko sa'yo, huwag mo siyang basta-basta i-add sa Facebook. Tingnan mo kung may business page siya at doon ka maki-engage sa business page niya. Right? Add mo siya sa LinkedIn possibly because it's where networks happen and connections happen. And doon mo siya gawing professional. Okay? So, sabi ni Luz, what are the differences between FB marketing and other digital marketing like LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and others? Madali lang ba ang FB mag-monetize? What about other digital marketing? Okay, sagutin ko muna yung pinakauna mong question. Ano yung difference ng FB marketing sa other digital marketing? Halos wala. It's about the target. It's about the audience. So, ang Facebook, tumatanda na tayo. Di ba? Tayong mga nagpe-Facebook, medyo matatanda na tayo. Ang pag pumunta ka sa ibang platforms, iba din yung age range nila. Iba din yung dating. Katulad sa LinkedIn. LinkedIn is almost similar to Facebook. Facebook's marketing back in 2008. Okay, so huli yung marketing na dating ng LinkedIn. That's why doon, okay pa na magpadami ka ng followers, okay pa magpadami ka ng likes, etc. But you just have to be very consistent on LinkedIn if you want to propel your marketing. Kapag naman Instagram, syempre it's highly visual and younger yung yung audience. So if you have younger audiences, then tapos visual yung service mo, like kunyari yung products or you create content na magaganda, you paint, you draw, you sing, you dance, whatever. Pwede kang pumunta sa Instagram, showcase what you know or what you're skilled at. Ganun din sa TikTok. TikTok is fast-paced. So, nandyan yung if you want to showcase, dapat ready kang makipagpaligsahan sa iba. Twitter is broadcast marketing. Meaning to say, tweet ka lang ng tweet. Okay? And since ang Twitter kasi is broadcast marketing, ang transition ng content sa Twitter is 15 seconds. Ang bilis, 'di ba? So every 15 seconds nagkakaroon ng or even faster, kakaroon ng panibagong content. So in order for you to stay on top of Twitter, dapat magaling ka din mag-tweet. Tweet ka lang ng tweet. Okay. And then connect with people, of course, who are your target market on Twitter. Tapos you engage on their content. Right? Since it's broadcast marketing, okay lang kahit na sino yung nakaka-follow sa'yo. Right? And sabi mo, madali bang mag-monetize ang Facebook? No. Meron kang kailangang i-follow if this is monetary na tipong may nagpe-pay sa'yo habang naka-stream ka. Alam mo yung ginagawa ng mga gamers? That's one way of monetizing. Another is monetizing as in creating a private group and then selling your services to that particular private group. Okay? Digital marketing is kabuuan. Ibig sabihin from website, Google, and all of the social media pages. So, sabi ni Trixie, may limit po ba ang engagement? Comment, share, and react? Yes, meron. So, hindi ka pwedeng comment ng comment. I think I'll look it up kung gaano kadami. But I know for a fact that there is a limit as well as sharing the same exact message over and over again. Even sa messages or messenger, may limit tayo. Okay? This is to avoid spamming. Okay? Any other question?
Ayan. Ay, saan ba si Mommy? Ayan. Meron pa ba kayong question kay Mommy Christi? Guys, do you still have questions?
Okay.
Yeah, if you remember no, na mention ni Mommy Christi na it's very important to research or really know your target market. Why is that, Mommy? Kasi paulit-ulit nating naririnig yan.
Yep.
In fact, yeah. Even
True.
in fact dun sa mga previous webinars namin, Mommy, no, they always our speaker guests like yourself, they always say, you know your target market, you know your client avatar, who your client avatar is. So can we explain further sa ating mga newbie moms, Mommy
Sure
Christi,
naman.
why is it important?
Okay, so first things first, nagiging buzzword na kasi ang target market at saka client avatar. Meaning to say, para na lang siyang jargon thrown
Mm.
around, tapos
Mm.
hindi naman nagigets nung kausap mo kung ano
True,
yon, di ba?
true,
So,
exactly.
in order for you to understand what a target market is, ito lang naman yung tao na gusto mong either maging customer or client.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say for example, nag-business ako ng ice cream, right? Or let's say ice candy. May business akong ice candy. Okay, ice candy is a food, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's a snack. It's cold, 'di ba? Malamig 'yon. So, hindi ko pwedeng sabihin na every single person is pwedeng kumain ng ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, paano mo siya ma-apply? Basically, every single person has different taste, they have different interests, they have different likes, correct? Now, going back to the analogy of that ice candy, for example, meron akong tinda na isang kind lang na ice candy, buko pandan, di ba? And because of this buko pandan, hindi naman lahat ng tao gusto nung ganong flavor, right? Some of them will dismiss it, some of them will buy. So yung some people na magbabay na yon, ano yung mga characteristics nila? Siyempre, number one, gusto nila ng buko pandan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Ano pa ba yung mga ng malamig yon? So malamang yung mga tao na yon naiinitan sila, nasa lugar sila na mainit. Or another thing is dahil matamis yon, most probably people who have sweet tooth or mas bata yung generation kasi mahilig sa matatamis yung mga batang generation, right? So, given those three characteristics, mahilig sa buko pandan, naiinitan, mahilig sa matamis, or nasa mainit na lugar, based doon sa nakuha mong data na yon, doon mo ibabase yung product na gagawin mo ulit. Right? Kasi, come to think of it, hindi mo naman pwedeng i-offer. Parang it's like selling, sabi nga nila sa Canada, di ba? Hindi ka naman pwede magbenta ng snow sa kapitbahay mo kasi nga 'di ba malamig na sa Canada. Right? So it applies to finding your target market. You have to look for the people who really are into that kind of service or in need of that kind of service because number one, it's where they are, saan sila location-wise, ilang taon sila, anong business nila, ano yung need nila sa business. Okay. Now, I understand that this may seem a little bit difficult to grasp sa una, lalo na kapag baguhan ka sa freelancing. But one thing that you have to understand is, first and foremost, if you are good at something, stick with that. So, for example, ikaw ay dating taga BPO, gusto mong mag-freelancer. Ano ba yung mga experiences at saka skills na nakuha mo when you were in the BPO industry? Right? Customer service, right? Data management, mga ganyan. Documentation, syempre gumagamit din naman sila ng mga documents, Google Drive, mga at saka CRM management which is basically collecting the information of clients, 'di ba? Nilalag nila 'yon sa data nila, right? So, pag na-breakdown mo yan, ano ba yung mga bagay-bagay na dyan na talagang sa tingin mo magaling ka and you can offer as a service. So, let's say for example, di ka naman maselan sa calls, right? pwede ka pa rin maging home-based call center agent. Sino ba yung mga businesses na kailangan ng customer service? Almost all types of businesses, correct? Kasi even if you are nagtitinda ng sapatos online, kailangan mo pa rin ng customer service, taga-sagot ng messages mo. Correct? So, you identify, pipili ka kung sino yon. You have to work on what's, umpisa, mag-work ka muna sa comfort level mo bago ka kasi makakalabas doon. Okay? Hindi pwedeng labas ka kaagad. Although there are some people who are very successful na lumalabas agad ng comfort zone nila, which is good for them. But most of the time, people are just working on their comfort level. Right? So, nasan ba yung level of comfort mo muna? And then you gauge yourself kung kaya mo nang dagdagan yung mga skills mo or kaya i-expand more yung network mo. I hope I'm making sense. Nag-get ba?
Yes,
Yun. So, there are different ways on how, but you just have to make a decision first. Ano ba yung skill na gagawin mo? Next is, sino ba yung may kailangan ng skill na yon? And then, i-breakdown mo yung characteristics nung may kailangan ng skill na yon. So, it's just 3 steps. Identify your skill first, and then, who needs them? So, you choose kung anong market nun. You can use your past experiences as a basis. Okay?
Exactly.
Right? So, nung call center ka ba, ano ba yung usual na nangangailangan ng service ninyo? Sino ba sila? Right? You can look for them outside the call center. Right? And then you connect with them. And of course, syempre mahirap pa din yun sa level ng baguhan. What you do is you consult Google for different types of keywords. Like for example, yung ginawa ko kanina, ano ba yung iba't ibang tawag sa doktor? Yung mga names nila. Okay? So we don't just search in a general way. Kasi mahirap kapag parating general yung basihan natin. If it's always general, most of the time mafrustrate ka kasi hindi mo alam yung gagawin mo. Right? So in order for you to be guided accordingly, use the things in your past experiences to guide you sa future na endeavor mo. And if you don't like your past experiences, tapos meron kang ibang idea in mind, then the next thing that you have to focus in, ano ba yung talent mo? Ano ba yung hobbies mo? Ano ba yung skills outside work mo? Kasi,
interest mo, no, Mommy?
That's right. Kasi, it's not necessarily about finding your passion, kasi hindi naman lahat ng tao passionate, but what you are actually enjoying to do. Okay? What you enjoy to do. So, if you enjoy something na, alam niyo katulad ng mga magagaling kumanta, pero hindi naman sila pinalad na maging singer. Right? So, let's say, for example, call center agent ka dati, ayaw mo nang maging call center, pero may maganda kang boses. O di mag-voice over talent ka. Right? And it's actually very in demand. Like sa mga commercial, sa mga e-commerce product videos. Ganon. And I know that sa Upwork meron silang hinahanap ng mga ganon, voice over talent. Ganyan. Ikaw yung, kunyari, nag-create ng explainer video, tapos ikaw yung nagbo-boses. Mga ganon. So, there are a lot of ways and it's an endless opportunity online. So, we don't just limit ourselves with sa mga nakikita natin. Kasi, in order for you to succeed online, huwag ka nang makigaya sa iba. Create your own. And in order to create your own, it really has to start with a deeper understanding of who you are as a person, ano yung past experiences mo, ano yung skills mo. And I don't believe na may tao na walang skill.
True.
Pagwawalis nga ng bahay, skill yan, di ba? Kasi yung ibang tao, di ba, ganun-ganun lang. Tapos meron yung iba na super sipag, super pulido silang kumilos. Di ba? So, it's just an exaggeration, however, it speaks volume din. You just have to be on your own para makilala ka sa sarili mong pangalan, sa sarili mong galing, etc. Right? If there are no opportunities na lumalapit sa'yo, create your own pa din.
Correct.
So, for example, tama. So, for example, nahirapan kang mag-book ng client kasi nagdo-drawing ka. So, hindi naman lahat ng freelancers, 'di ba? Kasi ang kailangan sa freelancing, merong operational skills, admin skills, social media, mga ganyan. Pero hindi naman madalas yung mga nagdo-drawing, mga artists, mga ganon. E di, gumawa ka ng sarili mong brand, you're an artist on your own. You create
Correct.
logos, you create cartoons, you create comic strips, and kilala niyo yata si Eric Toons ba yun? I forgot his name, but yun yung niche niya. So he just creates cartoons. So kung gusto mo ng caricature about yourself, for you and your family, then you can create caricatures.
Mhm.
Diba?
Mami, sundan ko lang, Mami, ha? Kasi ang mga newbie moms natin, yung concern nila, they thought all the while na ang mga job boards lang ang only way or only entrance ba to, freelancing industry. Although they're familiar with Upwork, onlinejobs.ph, and, freelancers, these are actually good platforms, but we made mention yesterday that it has already been saturated. So what Mommy Christi is teaching us is another way of marketing, going out there and looking or hunting for clients, even if you're a
That's right.
newbie. So, di ba, Mami, it's still possible na kahit
So,
sinasabi mo, uy, hala, baguhan ako sa online
mm-mm.
freelancing industry, baguhan akong virtual assistant, still, you can able to create your own brand, market yourself, and look for your clients using the strategies that Mommy Christi has,
Oo.
shared with us.
That's right. Super simple lang yung strategy, and I know everybody can do it. So as I have showed earlier, no, you just give yourself a time every day na magko-commit ka mga 1 to 2 hours to work on yourself as well as networking. So maki-network ka muna, feel around kung sino yung mga gusto mong target market. What I noticed, no, when you do this without the agenda of signing up a client, it goes smoother kasi it relieves you of the pressure na kailangan mo ng client ngayon. So what I do is,
Natural lang, Mami, no? It comes
natural lang, makipagkaibigan ka.
True.
So natural lang yon. So what you do is, for example, you have chosen 5 to 10 people online on social media, makipagchikahan ka lang sa kanila talaga. As in, pure chikahan. Walang tanungin mo lang yung business niya, mga ganon, or kung ano-anong. Most of the time, nakakakuha ko ng booking naturally sa ganon. Sila na mismo yung magsisend ng Zoom link nila, Calendly link nila, mga ganon. Just because nag-engage ako sa content nila, or kaya just because kinukumusta ko sila sa Messenger, and I ask things about them, the usual things, or kaya kinocongratulate ko sila privately and publicly. So that way, hindi sila na-pressure na, ay, digital marketing si si Christy, baka bentahan ako ng service nito or kaya maghanap ng client, ganun. No, they act naturally, na tipong hindi sila nai-stress about it. Sooner or later, if they need a service, you're on top of mind. Ako yung una nilang tinatanong, if I know somebody who does this or that. If it fits my profile, I say, ako gumagawa ako niyan. And then that's how I show them. Pero pag if it doesn't fit my profile, for example, katulad ng mga admin, mga executive assistant, or personal assistant, mga ganyan, then I pass it on to someone else na I know ganun yung trabaho. But in order for you to really expand your network and work it out online, you don't really have to push it. Ano lang, chill ka lang.
Kagaya ng sabi
Makipagkaibigan ka.
Kagaya ng sabi din ng aming nung mommy expert kahapon, Mommy Christi, that she was nung Wednesday na, do not chase for clients. So,
Oo,
yeah,
wag.
yun din ang sabi ni mga, listen to the expert, guys, ha. Do not, like, avoid sounding so desperate na you really need a
Yeah.
job. Kasi
Totoo.
it will shy away clients. Automatically, it's turn off. Tapos if
Oo.
you connect, like sabi ni Mommy Christi, if you connect with them, don't immediately offer or pitch your services kasi off din yun sa client. Right, Mommy Chris, no?
Yeah. I-block ka niyan, i-unfriend ka, baka ipagkalat ka pa sa iba, diba? So mas maganda na you watch out for those signs kung medyo desperate yung move mo. So dapat chill ka lang, parang nangungumusta ka sa old friend, diba? So connect with them in a natural and genuine manner. Mas maatatandaan nila yung pangalan mo, mas ikaw yung unang-unang maiisip nila for a type of service na gusto nila.
That's really true. Mommy, we have a question here from Farida.
Sure.
Sabi niya, hello po, as a newbie sa SMM, pwede po bang gamitin ko ang personal name ko and pick sa aking business page? Wala pa po kasi akong logo.
Yes, definitely. And it's no longer called a business page kung ganon. It's going to be a professional page. Now,
Mm-hmm.
siguro late si Mami Farida kasi yan yung discussion natin sa umpisa, 'di ba? So, yeah, definitely if you haven't thought about a logo and if you haven't thought about a business name, mag-personal branding muna kayo. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Personal muna kasi that's how we get people naman to trust us. Eh.
Us, exactly.
Yeah. Personal profile muna. Tapos kapag nakapag-isip ka na, let's say, kunyari, dami mo ng inquiries sa type ng services mo, tapos naisip mo na kung ano yung business name mo, then that's the time that you can create a business page.
We have another question here, Mommy Chris, from Mommy Lourdes. Dapat po ba same hashtag ang gagamitin sa different platforms?
Hindi. Different hashtag performs differently in different platforms. So, for example, sa Facebook, we have a maximum of 5 to 10 na hashtag na gagamitin natin sa content. However, yung performance ng bawat hashtag na yon is iba sa performance niya kapag lumipat na tayo ng Instagram, kapag lumipat ka na ng Twitter. Ang hashtagging system kasi is link building. It started with Twitter. Twitter kasi yung unang nagpa-umpisa niyan eh. But dahil kasi nako-collect niya yung similar topics kapag gumamit ka ng hashtag. O, 'di ba nahihila niya lahat ng similar topics. Yun yung naging avenue para mas makita ang isang content. So, they thought na kapag gumamit ka ng super daming hashtag or kaya pag gumamit ka ng same hashtag over and over again is binibigyan niya ng boost yung iyong content. It actually works differently. It depends on what hashtag and it has to be highly related into to your content. So, hindi ka pwedeng for example, nag-post ka ng picture mo. Tapos, yung picture mo is selfie, right? Yung picture mo selfie, tapos, ang mga hashtag mo is related sa isang business na something na hindi mo naman sinabi dun sa content mo. So, ma-off yung, yung iyong page. Masho-show siya sa hindi related sa kanya.
True. Okay. True. Ayan, we have another question, Mommy Chris, from Mary Angeline. With posting sa grupo and trying to grow organic, advisable po ba na unahin yung audience ko kung naka-public?
Hindi ko na-get yung question. So, with posting as a group po and try to grow organically, advisable po ba na ibahin audience kung naka-public? Okay, one question, Mary, is yung pagpo-postan mo ba, is what you mean to say is that it is naka-public or naka-private group? Yun ba yung ibig mo sabihin? Or
comment Christy kung yun yung ibig mo sabihin.
Or baka naman this is the audience selection na available sa personal profile. Like for example, pwede mong gawing public, pwede mong gawing friends only, or kaya selected people. Yun ba yung ibig mo sabihin? But I do have one thing to say about sa group posting. A lot of times, and even in my group, I observed na ang daming nagpro-promote. Yung iba subtle naman yung promotion nila, which is fine. Pero the best practice in a group is do not use your Facebook page to join. Number 2 is, if you post, do not share from a page. Mag-post ka organically or manually. Tapos ipa-approve mo. Yun yung best practice. Another is, huwag ka masyadong obvious when it comes to promoting. Like for example, nag-post ka nga organically or manually mo siya pina-approve. Pero yung post mo naman is you're selling your service. Diba? Hindi rin maganda yun na or kaya you are fishing for information. Like nangunguha ka ng mga emails sa group. May ganun yung magpo-post, drop your email, mga ganun. So those are not best practices. Kasi if you continually do that for the purpose of promotion, most likely mababan ka. Tapos marereklamo ka, you can be reported, you can be sent to Facebook jail, tapos 15 to 30 days hindi ka makakapag-comment sa ibang group or sa ibang content.
Mommy, may follow-up question lang din ako on that on that area. Kunwari, ma'am, meron kang member ka ng isang Facebook group, tapos you just engage and connect and answer questions, pero you share link from your page. Okay ba yun na practice or hindi pa rin? Kasi basically you're parang dragging pa din your links from your page, no? So it's also considered self-promotion. But is it a good practice or not?
Definitely depende sa type ng group. Kasi there are groups that allows that, there are groups that do not. So you just have to be aware of which groups allow that and which groups do not allow it.
I
Okay?
see.
So you also have to be very vigilant when it comes to following group rules. Katulad na, for example, meron silang promotion every Monday. Tapos, akala mo okay lang mag-promote ng Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Mga ganun.
Alright.
So you have to follow what's set rules doon sa meron sa group para hindi ka, kasi ang pinaka nakakatakot na gagawin ng mga admin is to report your profile. Okay? So hindi sa ibaban ka, but ire-report ka. And pag na-report ka kasi, hindi ka makakapag-comments. So hindi yun maganda. So it actually decreases your credibility on Facebook. So instead of promoting, just ask questions. So for example, you want to learn who are kung sino yung mga virtual assistant sa group, right? But the purpose is, for example, virtual assistant yung question mo, pero in reality, you actually just want to see kung sino yung may mga clients sa kanila, so that you can ask probably other questions later on. Then you can ask that question, sino ang mga virtual assistant dito sa Pilipinas? I just want to connect, mga ganyan-ganyan. Or kaya, other questions sa mga group is, for example, you're doing a market research. Like, sino yung mga gumagamit ng particular tool na ginagamit mo din? Kunyari, Trello or Asana. What do you like about this particular tool, etc. Ganon. But in reality, you're just looking for ways on how to connect to people. Okay? Kumbaga, nagpapataas ka lang ng status mo as a standout member para sa susunod na mag-post ka ng subtle na promotional, hindi ka maki-question or whatsoever.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's always a working your way up when it comes to marketing. Kasi if you're always blunt about your marketing efforts, medyo mahirap na magkaroon ka ng credibility. And credibility is something that you have to be building kapag nag-digital marketing ka or online marketing, kasi that's how people find you eh. They either search for keywords that are related to you, or baka yung iba alam nila yung name mo, mga ganon. Okay?
Yeah, makes sense. We have another question, Mommy Chris, from Trixie. From engagement po, how do you transition sa conversion and sa selling point?
Well, that's a very good question. So, from engagement, kasi may iba-iba pa tayo ng level ng engagement, right? So, yung umpisa, magre-react ka, mag-comment, mag-share, mag-ganyan. So, yung iba, magme-message. When people starts messaging you or engaging in your content in a way na nag-a-ask na sila if you have these kinds of services, that's your cue for conversion. Okay? But when you really want to promote your services, do it in a way na sa business page mo siya ginagawa. Okay? Then you can just probably share it in your personal profile. But that practice is basically sa page, sa business page mo, not even in your public profile page, doon sa business page mo. Tapos, ang gagawin mo dyan is you do it sobrang konti lang in a month. Hindi mo siya gagawing araw-araw na kunyari may post ka about your service. Ganon. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo dito is you ask for people's opinion about what they need when it comes to services, and then you can open your messages for other follow-up questions. Okay? So you can do that, but transitioning from engagement to conversion, it doesn't always entail organic. Kailangan meron ka din kaakibat dito na nag-a-ads ka din, or kaya in a simplest manner, boosting. Okay? So, huwag kayong mo-off sa boosting. It has a lot of benefits for engagement purposes. Okay? So, yun yung mga bagay-bagay na ginagawa natin. Wina-warm up natin na mabuti ang client. Because even if they are sending us messages, leads lang sila. Hindi pa sila na-convert. Okay? Leads lang yon. Nasa part pa rin sila ng engagement. Now, depende na lang yan sa pagsasabi mo sa kanila or pag-pitch mo, kumbaga, paano mo sila makukuha.
Ayan.
Sabi nga nila, di ba, sales is an art.
That's true.
Okay. Any questions pa?
We still have another question, Mommy Chris. Sabi din ni Trixie dito, follow-up question niya. Personally po, saan niyo po mas prefer maghanap ng clients? Sa social media po ba or sa mga job sites?
Social media. Job sites kasi talagang kailangan na nila ng help, right? Ang problema mo lang kasi sa job sites is that hindi mo, lalo na yung mga job description na hindi naman lahat ng nasa job description alam mo. Although you have an opportunity to learn, kaya lang whatever is already set as a salary, yun na yun. Kahit na, kunyari, pinagawa na sa'yo yung buong digital marketing, niya na, di ba? From website to ads. Tapos, 500 lang yung bayad sa'yo, $500, ganun. So, wala ka nang masasabi doon unless there are performance incentives, mga ganun. Job sites are not necessarily bad. You just have to know how to look for quality clients. So, siguro, ang pinaka-advice ko dyan is, huwag kayong mahiya to go on an interview after interview after interview kapag mga job sites. Personalize your application. Kasi, ako dati naging hiring manager din naman ako and minsan natatawa ako kasi magkakapareho yung templates ng mga nag-a-apply. So, alam mo na kung saan nila nakuha, parang ganon.
That's true.
Madali sa job site, basically, madali. Pero sa social media, if you really have a set of skills that you really want to sell, tapos you want more or premium clients, mga ganon, then definitely you have to work on your branding. And tsaka yun nga, kailangan mag-engage ka talaga ng seryoso. Seryoso ang engagement. Kasi hindi siya basta-basta magpo-post ka lang. So, a lot of people become frustrated with social media kasi magpo-post, wala mag-engage, magpo-post, wala mga ganon. Kasi the truth is, just because you posted something that relates to you or nakaka-resonate ka, doesn't mean relatable siya sa ibang tao. So, you have to make sure that you do the effort of reaching out and doing the hard work nga sa engagement para magkaroon ng fruits yung iyong mga pinopost.
Ayan. I think it's also important, Mommy Chris, no, na as a newbie freelancer moms, yung pagiging resourceful talaga. Kasi for example, meron kasi ibang mga na-upset na hala, hindi ako na-approve sa onlinejobs.ph or sa Upwork or sa ibang job sites. There's a lot out there. So you just have to be resourceful. Sabi ni Mommy Christi, Google is not considered as, ano ba yun siya, Ma'am?
Hindi naman siya basta-basta tatawaging World Wide Web for nothing.
Oh, yeah, for nothing, yeah. So you just have to be, resourceful and go out your way there kasi there's a lot of clients really, especially sa mga social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, IG, and mga ganyan. So, yeah, it's important to be very resourceful when looking for clients and as well building your
brand.
Brand, yeah, that's it.
Doon sa mga gustong advice lang, sorry mami. Doon sa mga gustong mag-social media, hindi mo kailangan sakupin lahat ng social media platform. Just focus on one. Kunyari, LinkedIn. O di LinkedIn lang pag-aralan mo. Instagram. Instagram lang pag-aralan mo. I've seen a lot of successful freelancers on Instagram. As in, successful talaga ha. Tapos, ngayon, nagko-coaching na sila ng Instagram marketing, mga ganon. So, focus on just one thing na sa tingin mo magiging comfortable ka. Kung nai-enjoy mo yung Instagram, mag-Instagram ka lang. You don't necessarily have to grow anything else. Just Instagram.
I think also, Ma'am, that's very good point. No, like you've really that's one way of knowing your target. and knowing your kung client avatar mo, like
Yes.
you focus, if this is your strength, if ang strength mo sa
Oo.
social media is nasa Pinterest, then focus on that. Sa
Correct.
LinkedIn, focus sa LinkedIn, IG, Facebook, and
Oo.
all that. Para at least you'll be considered an authority to that particular
Tama.
social platform.
And less
Mami,
work for people, no? Less work talaga.
true,
Kesa
exactly.
aaralin mo lahat.
Yung parang trying to please everyone, mami, no, oh, yeah, I'm
Oo.
offering this kind of services, and you'll end up,
Totoo.
di ba,
Yes,
pleasing,
that's
serving nobody. So, okay, we have another question from Mami Lourdes. Mayroon po bang best time to post? Follow-up question po is, dapat nagbabago po ba ng time ang schedule post?
Okay, so meron po bang best time to post? Yes, there is. And makikita mo yan sa insights ng Facebook mo o kaya sa insights ng Instagram mo. There's no standard best time to post. Kasi in reality, magkakaiba-iba naman tayo ng time zone, di ba? Diba naman time zone sa US, sa Canada, or whatsoever. Dito naman sa Pilipinas, iba-iba yung market mo. So, for example, kung anong market mo, let's say mga nanay, saan ba gising na gising ang mga nanay? Early morning and super late at night, right?
Exactly, ma'am.
So,
I agree.
tama, diba? So, you have to know yung mga details na yon bukod sa learning more about them from your insight. Pero ang pinaka-best resource mo talaga for best time to post is yung insight ng social media. Follow-up question is, dapat po ba nagbabago-bago ang time ng schedule? Not necessarily so unless it needs to be changed. So, ako kasi, ang ginagawa ko, if it's time to change na the best time to post, I check insights talaga on a weekly basis. Okay? So, kung hindi weekly, monthly. Ganon. So, monthly basis, chine-check mo yung insights mo to make sure na you are posting on the right time or the best time na awake or nag-i-interact ang iyong audience.
That's true. That's true. Merong follow-up question si Mary, Mommy Chris, yung kanina. Sabi niya dito, yung page daw po pala.
Ay.
FB page. Earlier question, saan ba yung question niya kanina?
Okay.
Ito yun.
So, yung FB page, okay. Alright. Basically, kapag nasa FB page ka, public lang talaga yung yung audience mo doon. So, ang na-change lang ng audience is personal. 'Di ba? Kapag, I'll show you ha. Mami, share ko muna yung screen ko ha.
Sige. Go ahead, Mami. Exit lang.
Tayo sa... Okay, lipat tayo sa... Okay. Wait lang. Naka-LinkedIn nga pala ako dyan. Saglit. So, LinkedIn pala yung napapakita ko. Wait lang, Mami. Lipat
sige,
lang
Ma'am.
ako. Okay, so... Saan yung LinkedIn ko? Ayan. So, lipat tayo sa Facebook. Alright, so... To answer question, basta sabihin mo lang sa akin, Mary, kung tama ba yung nasagot ko sa'yo or yun ba yung question mo. Kasi for me, what I'm understanding is that the audience, kung pwede mo ipakita, ganon. If you are on your profile, this is a personal account, dito mo lang ma-change yung kung public ba siya. Public, friends except specific friends or only me. Yan. This is where you select your privacy. Pero kapag nasa page ka, let's say a business page or a public figure page or personal or professional profile. Wait lang Create a post. Now. Ito lang siya. Public and restricted audience. Okay? So, it's automatically public kasi a business page is a public page. Restricted audience is basically only certain people on Facebook, meaning to say you choose them by demographics. Okay? Location, for example, ayaw mong ipakita sa mga taga-Pilipinas, gusto mo taga-US lang, lagay mo dyan US. Tapos, kung gusto mo makakita lang is 25 years old and above, yun ang mga restrictions sa page. Pero unlike a personal profile, ang personal profile kasi nare-restrict mo siya based sa privacy like public, friends, certain friends only, specific people, or only me. Okay? So I hope I answered your question, if that's what you're trying to ask.
Ayan. Do you still have other questions, mga mommies? Parang ganda-ganda ng discussion natin, Mommy Chris, no? Kasi nga,
Oo nga eh.
last week kasi, ang discussion namin was yung social media management na roadmap. Pero Mommy Try also mentioned that it's very, very parang diverse, napakalawak niya. So
Oo,
it's really
sobra.
good na, we parang discuss more about Facebook marketing as one aspect naman ng social media because after all, ang Facebook ang normally ginagamit natin and we are familiar of, especially sa mga newbie moms natin. So,
Correct.
do you still have questions sa mga moms? Meron pa ba kayo mga questions? Keep them coming kasi habang nandito pa si Mommy Christi, let's take advantage of her expertise. Okay, parang wala na yata silang questions. Moms, do you have final words for our newbie freelancers or mga newbie moms who wanted to kickstart their freelancing gig as a social media manager? Ano yung parang tips mo or advice mo sa kanila?
My number one tip and my number one advice sa mga gustong mag-social media manager is number one, talaga bang gusto mo to? Pero yun nga, talaga bang gusto mong gawin for a client? Okay? And then another is, if you, for example, decide on what type of, for example, service that you want to offer, just offer a few. Huwag mong i-offer yung buong diksyonaryo ng services. Okay? So, for example, VA, tapos social media, tapos transcription, tapos call center or customer service, tapos operations, tapos admin, website, mga ganun-ganon. Kasi, the trouble with offering, yun nga, chop suey na services is,
parang jack of all trades, ma'am.
don't be a jack of all trades. To be honest, wag. Kasi kung gusto mo talaga mag-excel in your freelancing career, hindi naman masama na meron kang isa, dalawa, tatlo na skill and meron kang isa or dalawang focus kasi dun ka naman makikilala. Alright?
Exactly.
So, okay lang yan kahit na Facebook lang, tapos content creation. That's perfectly fine. There are a lot of businesses na wala silang oras sa content creation. And you can offer that as a service to them. Kung gusto mo Instagram lang, tapos panay Instagram puzzle ka pa dyan or mga ganyan-ganyan and whatnot, then go for it. So, kasi ang pag-i-scale naman ng ating ng skills natin is the improvement and eventual, not necessarily perfection, but yung bang tipong ikaw yung expert doon.
Exactly.
Diba? Hindi naman siya about acquiring more skills. Okay? So, it's kunyari kung ngayon ang alam mo lang is copy-paste, sa susunod marunong ka na mag-design, sa susunod marunong ka ng may meme ka, may GIF ka, mag-video, ganun. So, pinapaangat mo yung isang skill na pinili mo. Hindi yung mag-aaral ka ng iba-iba.
And you also, ma'am, kasi meron din questions na lumabas last week, like ano yung portfolio na dapat nilang i-present? Your page or your Facebook profile can serve as a portfolio, right, ma'am?
Correct. Yes, that's why you need to do content creation. So, kapag nag-decide ka na mag-put up ng personal page or business page, you have to do content creation. So, you have to make sure that you are consistent, like kahit na mga 3 times a week, hindi na masama yun. Basta consistent ka na you showcase yung kaya mo. If you are a good writer, then magsulat ka lang. Sulat ka lang ng sulat na sa sa page mo. So, if you are a good visual designer or graphics designer, edi mag-design ka din ng mga, kunyari, templates. Or kaya mag-design. Basta pakita mo yung skill mo, yung kaya mo, and then you can use that as a portfolio. Okay? So, a portfolio doesn't necessarily have to come from past clients kasi karamihan yung mga past clients natin, may mga NDA yung mga ganyan. So, in respect to them, hindi natin yun kukunin. So, what we do instead is we create something similar na pinagawa ng client mo before. Okay? Create something similar. Lagay mo sa Canva, lagay mo sa, let's say, sa document or sa slides or whatsoever. Basta it has to be something that you created, something similar. Right? So, you don't have to show that. Kasi kawawa naman, nag-sign ka ng NDA tapos papakita mo sa ibang clients, right?
But what about moms if they don't have any clients yet? What can
Okay
they?
lang. Create your own portfolio.
Exactly.
Right?
So
Create your own portfolio lagi.
yan yung ina-emphasize lagi ng ating mga expert moms, no? Mga moms, if you notice that you optimize your social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media platforms, because that can serve as your, portfolio, and that's one way that you can show your client that you can get the job done. Do you still have other questions, mga mommies?
Sagutin na lang natin yung common. What if talagang wala, 'di ba?
That's right. That's right. What if wala?
Other ways on how you can build your portfolio is to have a friend or a family na itry yung service mo for free. Okay? So for example, meron kang kakilala na meron siyang Facebook page. Tapos gusto mo lang mag-practice on that particular Facebook page. Then while you are learning, you apply what you've learned on that particular Facebook page. And then you use that as your professional portfolio. So, hindi mo kailangan sabihin sa client na, ay, pinag-practicean ko lang to eh. Kasi syempre, off-putting yon. Tsaka parang, ay, nag-practice lang pala to, parang ganon. And we always have to think that ang mindset kasi ng employer is gusto nila professional na talaga. So, you always consider yung mga pinag-practicean mo as what your professional experience is. Okay? Hindi mo naman ipagkakaila na hindi ka bayad doon or whatsoever. But if you are able to provide a good service to that friend of yours or family member, tapos nabigyan mo siya, na-scale mo yung business niya dahil napag-practicean mo yung business niya, then definitely, mas nakaka-attract pa yon ng client.
That's really true. Sabi dito, merong sinabi lang si Mommy Luz. Thank you lang daw, Mommy Chris, no? Thank you, Mommy Christi, for this engaging talk. Thank you. I've learned a lot. You have challenged each of us to help know more about FB marketing and developing a reputation, reliable, also in fairness in posting for business growth, more power, and God bless, Mommy Christi. Thank you very much. Your moms at work for the webinars. You are blessed and more power to you. Thank you, Mommy Luz.
Thank you. Si Mommy Luz, actually, dapat may class kami ngayon.
Really?
Sorry, Mommy Luz. Thank you so much, Mommy Luz.
Salamat po. Meron din sinabi si Jennifer dito na it takes a deeper understanding of who you are as a person for you to succeed in this business. Yeah. Because after all, ang virtual assistant, kala kasi nila, lang siya parang virtual assistant lang. You have to remember that it's actually a business. So you are building a business, and building a business takes time, di ba?
Yes.
Building your brand takes time. So kaya yung sabi mo yung, ngayon, Mommy Chris, engage.
Engage lang.
Continue to do it again, all over again.
Correct. Gawin mo yun, be consistent. Do it. Huwag ka magsasawa. Ganyan. Oo nga pala, no. If you guys are overthinking sa mga admin work or whatsoever, people are still looking for magagaling sa Excel, magagaling sa slides, mga ganon. I've seen a lot of foreigners na VA sila, ang title nila VA, pero actually ang ginagawa lang nila mga slide, yung as in ang gagandang slides na binibenta nila as a package para gamitin ng mga coaches or mga educators online. So,
true.
Sobrang daming sobrang daming opportunities if you really just take your time doing your research. Mag-research kayo, bisitahin nyo si Google. And this is not something na sinasabi ko na mag-Google ka or whatsoever, but use Google in a way na you're curious about what's out there, kung ano yung mga services na pinoprovide ng other virtual assistants na gaya natin.
Right? If you're also concerned, mga moms, no? Kasi Mommy Christi and ako, we're both moms, so we have kids, may mga online schools, and nagpapadede pa kami ng mga bata namin. So, hindi naman, we're not asking you to, consume the whole day para mag-research. At least,
Correct.
Make a schedule, stick to it, na siguro 1 or 2 hours no, in a day, and then take it from there. Do it gradually, consistently, hanggang, you'll get the hang of it.
Yeah. O kasi ako naman, natutunan ko lang mag-freelancing sa kaka-search. Hindi ko naman
Exactly.
natututunan yung na meron palang pera sa internet. Kung hindi ako nagse-search sa internet nung kaka-graduate ko, that was way back 2007. Tapos sabi ko, ayoko mag-nurse. So, ayoko na sa ospital. So, ang ginagawa ko, talagang nagse-search ako na ganyan ng mga work from home, opportunities at home. And back then, sobrang limited ng opportunities. Pero the good thing about being curious is that you get to learn more. So, hindi ko
Correct.
naman matututunan yung mga ginagawa ko ngayon kung hindi rin ako naging curious eh.
Exactly. Mommy Christi, nurse ka pala? So
Oo.
kung nurse ka,
By profession.
imagine mo ma'am siya, kung nurse ka ngayon, tapos pandemya, wala ka sa bahay ngayon.
Yeah. So, it's a blessing in disguise, to be
Diba,
honest.
no?
Kasi nilayo ako ni God sa ganong kapahamakan.
Although, thank you pa din sa ating mga frontliners. No,
That's right. That's right. Oo, kawawa naman, diba? Saka, sobrang nakakabilib. Grabe.
Nakakabilib.
Hindi ko kaya yun.
Pero thankful din tayo for the opportunity to be able to work from home kasi
That's
makikita
right.
natin ang mga bata natin, especially this pandemic. There's a pahabol question, Moms. Is it from SC? Is it okay na in order for you to have a portfolio, mag-free ka in exchange for a testimonial? What's your stand
Yeah,
about it?
definitely. If you are up for it, tapos go ka naman, I mean, wala namang masasaktan or whatsoever. And if you really want to do it, just go for it. Kasi marami yung gumagawa nito, free in exchange for a testimonial. I've done it before as well. And it was, mga short projects lang. Kunyari, sa photo, content, mga ganon, 30-day content, 15-day content,
Okay.
article, tapos in exchange for something. So you don't necessarily have to work for them for free. Basta project lang. Wag mong gawing alila yung sarili mo. Na kunyari 6 months ka na tapos libre.
Libre pa rin.
In exchange for testimonials. And wag naman, pakeme-keme lang. Kembot lang na maliliit na projects. Doesn't have to take so much of your time.
Exactly. Do you still have questions, guys, mga moms? Napaka-valuable ng ating discussion today, no? So, do you still have... Come on, habang nandito pa si Mommy Christi. Ayan, sabi ni Essie, thank you very much. Sabi ni Mommy Lucio, you're welcome, Moms Christi and Mommy May. Ayan. Do you still have other questions, guys?
Yeah, question lang kayo. Huwag kayong mahiya. There's no silly questions
Exactly,
or stupid questions. Everything is just a question. Okay lang yan.
Correct. Kung wala naman, Moms, do you still have anything to promote, Moms?
I have my one-on-one this coming January nga pala. If you want to learn more about Facebook marketing, Facebook ads, social media marketing, it's newbie friendly. And it's one-on-one na. It's not really a group na session. I do have a group session. Pero I'll check ko muna kung kaya talaga. Kasi yung client ko din kasi medyo bumibigat na yung tasks namin. So I will see, but most definitely one-on-one available ako for January. And I chose one-on-one kasi mas napapersonalize yung teaching. And mas natututo yung estudyante.
Okay. Moms, may follow-up question.
Ayan. May text talaga.
May text ha. Baka siguro na. So, sabi dito, do you think the market is already saturated? Kasi it appears though na appealing ang SMM na parang, niche or something they want to offer to the client.
Correct.
What do you advise? Okay lang ba that they would pursue SMM? Kasi baka saturated na daw.
Saturation is only if billions and billions na tayo doing the same exact thing. But meron nga study sa California alone, merong 2 billion ha. Ay million pala, 2 million businesses. California lang 'yon ha. So if the market is saturated, and if you think the market is saturated, most probably the reason why you got that idea is because pare-pareho kayo ng services na ino-offer. Malawak ang social media marketing,
Mhm.
social media management. You can niche to a very specific social media task
Correct,
na
correct.
hindi binibigay ng ibang social media managers. Okay?
That's right.
So, pwede ka ngang mag-ano lang dyan community management, yung sa group ka lang, diba? So, panay group lang yung handle mo. Or kaya, yun nga, purely content creation, purely video creation. O kaya, gumagawa ka ng, ikaw yung nagpa-facilitate ng mga events. O kaya, nagse-set up ka lang ng mga business pages. Or nag-o-optimize ng mga profile. It's entirely up to you. Sabi ko nga, hindi mo kailangang sakupin lahat.
Correct, correct. You can narrow down your specialization. One last question from Trixie. How do we register po sa one-on-one?
Secret, joke lang. Pwede niyo akong i-PM kasi I haven't published yung curriculum kasi nga I'm thinking of revising the curriculum and then changing it to something based dun sa mga na-experience ko this recent past 2 weeks o sa mga naging estudyante ko. So, PM nyo na lang ako or kaya send nyo sa akin yung email nyo sa Messenger.
Okay. One last question ha. Ano po bang best reason para makapili ka ng niche mo?
Best reason is that it's scalable. You can handle a lot of clients if you have a niche service. Hindi ka masyadong mapapagod because this is your expertise, kumbaga. You don't necessarily have to be an expert immediately. But because you have chosen something like a skill or a particular platform lang, isa lang yung ginagalawan mo, mas nai-scale mo siya kasi, di ba, in comparison to someone who's doing general work, general services, top to bottom yung trabaho ng mga general kasi beginning to end, mga ganyan. But if you have a niche service na ma-maximize mo yung effort mo into marketing, provided that yun lang talaga yung ginagawa mo. Like for example, nagse-set up ka lang ng mga FB ads, campaign, mga ganyan. After nun, wala ka naman ang gagawin. Right? So, in comparison to someone who's doing general, mas haggard sa atin ang mga general na nag-work. Kesa yung pag may niche ka, you get to enjoy your work basically kasi nga it's just what you love doing. Okay? And I use the word love doing kasi kapag nag-niche ka, siguraduhin mo na ito talaga yung gusto mong gawin.
Ayan. Meron pa ba kayong questions? Ayan, thank you daw, sabi ni Trixie. Ayan, Mommy Chris, salamat, maraming salamat po sa time nyo. Napaka-valuable na information na share mo sa ating mga newbie moms. Ayan, we thank you so much for your time and for your effort po for being with us.
Thank you din. Nag-enjoy ako in fairness.
Kami din ang daming natutunan and I'm sure ang ating ding mga newbie moms maraming natutunan. So, one last na lang po, we will have another session next week sa same dito pa din sa Moms at Work na page. That's December 16. We'll just talk about mindsetting kasi you were requesting about it, no? We will discuss lang natin. Sige, sure, ma'am. We'll just talk about, mindsetting on December 16, 3 o'clock dito pa rin po sa ating Moms at Work na page. And if you don't have any questions, yun lang, we'll continue to like and follow Moms at Work on our IG, Facebook, and YouTube accounts for you to be able to, be updated with all the tips and tricks and webinars and all those stuff on freelancing and motherhood. So once again, this is, sandali, I'll show you something lang. Hang on, ayan. So once again, this is May Martin. Thank you again, Mommy Chris.
Thank you then, and thank you everyone.
Have a happy weekend, everyone.
Happy weekend, guys.
Much love.
Bye.